Russia plans to deploy several thousand more North Korean soldiers to the Kursk front line, a move driven by the heavy battlefield losses suffered by its forces, according to the President of Ukraine.
We are seeing that another few thousand, 2,000, maybe 2,500 to 3,000, are in the process of being redeployed from North Korea to the Kursk direction. It's definitely not because of the good life. We clearly understand that they are suffering losses. We estimate their casualties exceed 4,000, with about two-thirds of them killed.
Russia began using North Korean servicemen in combat operations in the Kursk region as early as the fall of 2024. According to intelligence reports from Ukraine and South Korea, approximately 12,000 North Korean troops have been deployed in total. Ukrainian forces have managed to eliminate about a third of this contingent. Due to these severe losses, the activity of North Korean troops in the Kursk region significantly declined in January 2025. However, on February 7th, Ukrainian president reported that Russian command had once again brought North Korean troops into the assaults on Kursk region. According to him, hundreds of Russian and North Korean soldiers have been killed, and reinforcements from North Korea are likely intended to offset these losses. However, Moscow is not only expecting soldiers from Pyongyang, but also weapons.
They continue to maintain contact with North Korea regarding military personnel, weapons, and missiles. We are tracking all of it: missiles, artillery, troops. This is direct foreign involvement in the war, and even captured soldiers acknowledge it. This is a clear case of drawing another country into the conflict.
North Korea will continue to provide Russia with weapons in 2025, according to Kirill Budanov, chief of the main Directorate of Intelligence of Ukraine. The primary focus of this supplies is artillery systems. North Korea has built up a massive artillery arsenal over decades. In just the past 3 months, Pyongyang has delivered to Moscow approximately 120 self-propelled 170mm artillery systems Koksan and 120 240mm multiple rocket launchers M1991.
The 170mm weapons have powerful ammunition and good capability. The 240mm MLRS are like any other heavy systems. They make more problems on the front line. Kirill Budanov, chief of the main Directorate of Intelligence of Ukraine, in the interview with the War Zone.
According to Ukrainian intelligence, North Korea will also supply Russia with additional howitzers and 150 short-range ballistic missiles. The Russian army first used North Korean ballistic missiles against Ukraine in January 2024. Later, Pyongyang expanded its support by supplying troops for Russia's invading forces. Moscow has sent North Korean soldiers to the Kursk front line, where for over 6 months the Kremlin has been unsuccessfully attempting to push Ukrainian forces out of the region.
Last year, the enemy aimed to turn this region into a buffer zone and planned to advance toward Kharkiv and Sumy. Therefore, we acted preemptively and launched our own offensive, shifting the battle onto enemy territory in the Kursk region. We disrupted their plans, and today we have established our own security zone on Russian soil, along the Ukrainian border. We control about 500 square kilometers and force the Russians to redeploy their most combat-ready units from other directions. Oleksandr Syrsky, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, on Telegram. The enemy is diverting a significant number of troops and, most importantly, equipment to this direction. The Kursk region is their territory, yet for more than 6 months, they have been unable to change the situation. For us and our partners, this is a very positive signal. It shows that we can and must strike the enemy wherever we have the capability and reach.
The Kursk operation could play a crucial role in future negotiations to end the war, said the President of Ukraine in an interview with The Guardian. According to Volodymyr Zelensky, if talks with Russia begin, he intends to propose a direct territorial exchange with Moscow. Reported by Serhiy Kuras, Yulia Hranovska, UATV News. Soldiers of the 225th Assault Battalion of the Ukrainian Armed Forces lured Russian units into an ambush in the Kursk region, striking them with the HIMARS system.
The key element was the precise timing of every stage of the operation. The strike eliminated a significant portion of enemy manpower, and our teams returned to finish clearing the area. From the message of the 225th Assault Battalion, on Telegram.
As Forbes analyst David Aikes notes, the success of Ukrainian tactics explains the heavy losses Russia has suffered in the Kursk region. In his recent address, President Volodymyr Zelensky emphasized that the primary objective of Ukrainian forces in the region is to contain Russian advances along Ukraine's northeastern border.
For nearly 6 months now, we've been conducting active operations in the Kursk region to defend Ukrainian land. We are maintaining a buffer zone on Russian territory to protect Sumy and Kharkiv from Russian offensives. I thank all our warriors who defend Ukraine's positions and eliminate the occupiers.
According to Andriy Kovalenko, head of the Center for Countering Disinformation, Russian and North Korean forces retain a numerical advantage in the Kursk region. However, heavy losses in equipment and personnel have stalled their progress. Initial Russian plans have been disrupted by the terrain and significant casualties. Sky News, citing Ukrainian military sources, reports that North Korean troops have temporarily withdrawn from the front line in Russia following severe losses. On January 9, 2025, at the Ramstein air base in Germany, President Zelensky disclosed that North Korea's losses have reached 4,000 soldiers.
Kim
Jong-un is trying to demonstrate to South Korea and other nations the combat readiness and effectiveness of his army. However, reports, including those reaching North Korea, indicate that their troops are underperforming and suffering heavy losses. This undermines Kim Jong-un's position.
In an interview with Sky News, Ukrainian soldiers noted that North Korean troops are better equipped than many Russian soldiers, including rifles and uniforms. However, they rely solely on foot movement and use golf buggies to transport ammunition.
They were all clean-shaven and impeccably groomed, like models. Not a single one had a beard, messy hair, or baldness. It was also hard to determine their ages. They looked between 25 and 35, possibly up to 40 years old. Commander with the call sign Pulse in the interview with Sky News.
North Korea continues to aid Russia in its war against Ukraine, initially supplying weapons and later sending over 10,000 troops. Analysts at the Institute for the Study of War predict that by mid-March, North Korea will deploy a new military contingent in Russia. According to Ukrainian intelligence, Pyongyang plans to deliver an additional 150 short-range ballistic missiles and more howitzers this year. Reported by Sergei Kulyas, Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.